Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Miss Rena L. General.
Yours truly, Lomwe.
Yo, this is Black Zathu.
Evo Timothy, Farmer Michael.
What it do, what it does.
What up,
people? This was good.
You listening to or tuned into
The 5Roundz podcast.
5Roundz.
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 So yeah, make sure you stick it right here because it's lit.
Okay, what's happening, guys? Welcome to 5Roundz. It's your boy Wantali. We have got Patrick and we've got OV2 Nice.
What it do, what it does.
What are you doing, guys? What's up?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show.
As you know, today we have a special guest. So it's not about us today. We have a very, very special guest. She is quite an inspiring young lady. All right. So who is she? So she basically joined Zathu Band in 2016. They won 3 Best Group Awards at the UMP Awards and the Nyasa Music Awards. She has been dubbed the rising star of Malawi with her angelic voice. One of the best songbirds, I would say, coming out of Zathu Band, Theresa Phondo.
Welcome. What's up?
What's up?
Teresa? How are you doing, my love?
Hi guys, how are you? How are you
By the
guys
way,
doing?
you're looking well. Me too, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, we are good. We're good. How are you doing?
I'm great, man. God is good.
Tell us what. Before we go further, where are you talking to us from? Where are you right now? Where are you?
I'm in my home actually, in Area 49, New Shire, man.
Where is that?
In
Where's Area
Malawi.
49? Yeah, let's talk about, because there's lots of viewers from Europe, from America here.
Yeah.
You know, Malawi,
Yeah.
Area 40, Area 41.
49.
49.
Lilongwe, Malawi, in Africa.
City.
Yeah.
For those who do not know. So yeah, without further ado, all right, let me ask you the first question. What people want to know is, who is Theresa Phondo? Who is this person that we are speaking to?
I don't like that question. And I don't like that question because sometimes I'm like, "Oh, so what do I say? Do I say what I do? Because that's not who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But man, I can say that I'm a child of God. I think that's the first thing for me, because then everything that I do, that's the foundation. So I'm a child of God. I'm a musician. I'm an actress as well. I do business with my husband. We have a partnership called Hillcrest Trading. So basically, Hillcrest Trading, we have 3 maize mills currently operating in districts in Lilongwe. And we also go into farming seasonally. So yeah, basically that's what I do. I'm also a student studying international relations, my master's in international relations. And then I'm a mom, and a mom of 2, and I'm a wife as well. So yeah,
So you're like Jen of all trades.
you can say that. You can say that. You know what I love? I love trying different things, because I think that I cannot be limited into one thing. I cannot just be a musician my entire life. I believe that God gives different talents, and sometimes they're for different seasons. So I like to go out there and just try different things and see what works out. And I actually currently got a job. I'm working as a personal assistant to the director of communications at the State House. So yeah, and I'm loving it. You know, that's like a new arena for me, the political world, which is something that I've never done. But I mean, let's try it out.
Yeah,
Guys,
done.
look, I just want to explain this for people that don't really understand. I don't know if some people use the same word, State House. When she says State House, it's like somebody who's working in the White House. Basically.
Yeah.
Somebody working in the White House in
I'm pretty
America.
sure everybody uses that.
We have
uses that. Come on.
We have presidential royalty in the building.
You
right?
guys, stop it, honestly.
Oh man. So
Yeah.
speaking of which, I mean, listen, you're an entrepreneur, actress, all right? You're working for the president. How do you have time to do everything, create content and all these things,
Oh man, I mean, it kind of all works out, because I mean, I remember when I was working with Zathu, the time that I was working with Zathu, then I got married, and then I was also pregnant, and then I had my child, and it was like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? But I was working with Zathu on a full-time contract, and then when I just had my son, the contract changed to part-time. So it just worked out. So I would go and record, and then I'd be home with my child, and then the contract came to an end, and then I was home. And then at least now my son is much older. My last born, at least, he's much older, and it just kind of works out because and I have a supportive husband, and he's my business partner, so he does much of the business aspect,
Big up
the
to the
business
big
side
man.
of things.
Yeah,
Big up to
him,
Bob
man.
Pondo,
Big
love
up
you,
to
man.
Bob Pondo,
He's
go on, Bill.
amazing.
Big up.
He's amazing,
Nah.
honestly, and he's my support. So he really supports me. I'll tell him I want to do school. He's like, you can do it, man. I'm here. So when I have to write assignments, for example, he'll be with the kids, and then the time that I have a lot of school to do, my work is not so hectic. So it just kind of works out. I think it's just God coming through, man. The grace of God.
Wow. No, that is
Amen, sister. Amen.
absolutely amazing. You got somebody backing your corner as well while you go out and take over the world. That's absolutely brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. So
before you go on, look, guys, just want to say this. Welcome this lovely lady, Theresa Phondo. She's out here, and we appreciate your time spending with us. 5Roundz. And as we always say, guys, best thing that you can do for more content, to meet more people, to know more people like Theresa Phondo, who are hardworking as she is. Follow, subscribe, like, and share. And of course, if there's something that we left out, we didn't ask, free to drop it into the comments. Ask, she's gonna be seeing when this video as well. She can answer it herself on the comments when she's got the time. And of course, we're going to have our socials. You can follow her and see what she's doing, where she's progressing to. You know yourself. Welcome again to 5Roundz, Theresa.
Thank you, man.
Okay, guys. So that's it. Next question, right? In an interview with ZBS, right, you spoke about being a teen mom, your experiences as a teen mom, and becoming an entrepreneur, and also joining Zathu Band. Right? Was being pregnant at 16 the catalyst to a change, in mentality?
Actually, no, it wasn't. And surprisingly, I can't say that my life changed after I gave birth. I mean, it did, but for the worse, And for me, that's when my mom said, I think you should go back to school. After I had my son, I think about a year later. And I was like, no problem, man. I love school. I didn't even fight that. But I went to Blantyre, to a boarding school. And that was my first time being away from family, because I'm the last born, and, I've always been home. And so this was the first time for me away from home, and no siblings, no protection. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm in this world alone. So that's the time that I actually started searching for God. Because I was like, I don't want to live the life that I want to live, anymore, because I was into drinking, partying, and that was life for me. Like, turn up every day. That was life for me. And I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't even imagine. And
my God,
I was like,
turned down for what?
Yeah.
For what? And I was like, if I stop drinking, what is there to do? That was literally my mentality then. But after I had space cake for the first time, I mean, I saw crazy things, and I was like, no, this is not the path that I want to take. That's when I started praying, and I was like, God, help me out. I don't want to live this life, because I knew that by the time I'm 25, there's a certain life that I want to live. I want to be married. This is what I want to do, but I just didn't know how to get there. So then 6 months later, I was involved in a car accident because we were all drunk. And when I woke up in the hospital under an x-ray machine, I said, no, man, I can't die because of this lifestyle. No, that's when I was like, God, have my life. That was the last day I drank, and I gave my life to Christ, and everything about me changed. Literally, the way I thought, the way I dressed, my interest. It was like I became a new person. And it's just so amazing, because even when I look back, and when I look back at my, when you look back at your tweets and how you used to think, it's like, yo, who's that? like such a huge difference. And but I just thank God, because that's when I just wanted everything in my life to be better. You know, I just wanted to pursue business. I wanted to be independent. I wanted to be a better parent. I wanted to be a better daughter, sister. I just wanted to be better. So that's where it came from.
Okay. Look, one more question on that one, actually. So, did you said that you came from a life where you were drinking, partying, and then something happens in your life and that completely changed. What was the turnover? Did it happen almost instantaneously, or did you have to take certain steps to become who you are now?
I mean, it took 6 months. So by the time I got to school, right, 2 weeks later, I have space cake, and I'm hallucinating. I'm in hell. I'm hallucinating. I'm seeing all these vampires. It was just next level. And from then, I cut down drinking, because I was like, I don't want to drink anymore. In fact, I stopped enjoying it. Like every time I drank, it didn't taste good anymore. I didn't like being tipsy anymore. You know, something that I used to love. So what I did was, I used to love drinking spirits. So I cut down. I started drinking ciders. So every time, like, I'd want to drink, or people like, oh, let's go out, you know, peer pressure and everything, I'd just have ciders. But I wouldn't even finish. And people were like, man, what's happening with you? And I was like, I don't know. And so I'd drink, from drinking every day to drinking once in 2 months, you know, and that was what was happening those 6 months. And then that's when the car accident happened. When the car accident happened, actually, I drank a lot that day. I got so drunk, it was really crazy. And then that's when the car accident happened. And when I woke up, that's when I said, I don't want this life anymore. That was it. And that was it. That was the instant change. But it had started from me trying to cut down, and I knew that I couldn't do it, because it was just so hard to stop, you know, from the friends that were surrounding me, because it was still the same people, to I still want to fit in, you know. But after that, I cut off everybody. I said, no, new life, new everything, you know. So everything changed then. Plus, I was injured, so I was just home and church for like another 6 months. So that isolation also really, really helped, because I was able to find myself in all of that, and to find the journey that I want to take, you know.
That is
Jesus
impressive.
Christ, man. You've touched me here, man. That's touched me. No, the real. Man. The real, like that's it reflects a lot of myself too in that, you know. And what you've just said is right. I think I have gone through the same stuff, and believe me, not my accident wasn't that extreme, but it wasn't as extreme as yours, but it was closer. But it also gave me my mind like, what the hell? Why do you keep doing this? And you have your brother, your cousins in the car with you. That's the whole family tree you have in the car with you, and you keep doing it every weekend, because we went as a family. So look, I get where you're coming from, but that's some trip also on that space cake you're on about vampires. That's some trip.
Man, it was wild.
You know what? For me, I heard you kept on mentioning Zathu Band, and I think even one time you mentioned Zathu Band. So I want to dig deeper into that.
Sure.
Okay, for the people out there, so Zathu Band is a well-known, diverse Malawian supergroup, and their singles were like Zimatele, Chinzatu Ichichi. So for me, I'm interested to know, why did you audition for the band, and what was your experience during the period with the band? And who was behind the whole Zathu thing?
Yeah. Wow. So why did I audition? It's funny, actually, because I heard a friend of mine from church is like, oh my gosh, so there's auditions going on to join a choir, and you'll be getting paid, right? And here I am. I've given my life to Christ, and I'm like on fire for the Lord, and I want to sing for God. And I'm like, oh yes, man, I'm gonna go and audition for this choir thing. And at first I was like, maybe not. And then my friend was like, no, apparently this is a big deal, so just go and audition. So just last minute, I sent a clip over WhatsApp, because that was the requirement. And next thing, I'm selected. Oh, come for auditions, live auditions. You have to dance, you have to sing, you have to act.
Why does the whole thing?
It's the whole thing.
How long was the audition? Like, out of just curiosity, like, how long did you have to do that?
It was for a while, because because the first round they notified us on the phone, because we had to send like a clip on the phone, right? And then if you were chosen, they'd call you, come to the next round of a set of auditions. Then you'd go, then you'd sing, and then they chose. So this was. They chose 14 people, and then we did another set of rounds, and then they chose 6 people. So it was over a period of time. Maybe was it, if not weeks, a month, but it was over a period of time. Yeah, because we'd have to go and do the auditions, and then they'll take a while to let you know that you've actually made it. Yeah, but man, so we weren't told like what it's gonna be about. Actually, we were only told once we made it. So once 6 of us, we made it into this band, and they're like, okay, this is what we want to do. We want to impact, Malawi, the society, boys and girls, and this is how we're gonna do it. You're gonna be doing radio drama, and I hadn't done radio drama before. So I was like, oh my gosh, everything was just so new to me. But I was like, as long as I'm helping someone, it's still a ministry. Ministry is not just worship. It's not just pulpit. It's anything that you're doing to impact a life. So I was like, I'm down, man. Let's do it. And my experience was so amazing because, oh my gosh, being around 5 talented people. And I promise you, like, the people that I worked with, there's Esther, there's Praise, there's Paul, there's Joe, there's Nyogase, they're super talented. And just being around them and learning from them and then getting to travel, it was just so much fun. And I knew that, you know what, this will come to an end at some point because it was on a contract basis. So I soaked in every moment. I treasured every moment, because I knew that, I knew that, you know what, this is gonna pass. So just live it, enjoy it, and give it your all. And I did. I had so much fun.
Yeah, like you just mentioned one of the guys there. I was reading somewhere just an article, and it looks like they all loved you because like the guy Joe Kells, I think his name is Joe Kells. He said this girl is so talented and she will take over the world. I think he's the one who said that. I was like, wow. I was like, wow. But that's when I was like, you know what? In my head, I was like, I've seen this girl before. I think she was at Bishop Mackenzie. Like, I have seen her before. She might not remember me, but I have seen her. And I think your sister maybe might, but I was like, I think I've seen her before. So, you know what? Big up to you guys. Big up to you guys. But you know what? One more thing I asked, and I'm interested. So who was behind the whole thing?
Yeah, all right. So basically, Zathu was created by an NGO called Girl Effect. Okay, so the headquarters was in London, Girl Effect UK. So Girl Effect UK basically created other brands in different African countries. So they went to Ethiopia and they created a band called Yenya, which meant hours in their language. So it had the same concept. Exactly. So it had the same concept. What the idea was, let's go into different countries. Let's research and find out the problems that each country is experiencing, and then let's create a band that is going to address those issues using radio drama and using music. So they did that in Ethiopia, then they went to Rwanda, and then they came to Malawi. So Malawi was actually the third one. Yeah, and then they went to, I think, India and then Nigeria as well. So it was created by Girl Effect UK.
Wait, on what you've just said, right now, and you say these words also, but these same words were also in the documentary, the Zathu documentary you had in, I think, September 2017. The words that Zathu is here to unite girls and boys in Malawi through music, radio, and drama, which you mentioned before. But how did you achieve or plan to achieve that?
Yeah, so Zathu, we had 6 themes, right? The themes were mainly friendship, education, health, gender-based violence, self-expression, and boy-girl stereotypes. So basically, what we did was every time we would create a song, it would be from one of these themes. Every time our radio drama and the storylines and the characters will hold one of these themes. So, for example, my storyline, my character was called Mpatso, and Mpatso was a teen mom, right? And I was a teen mom as well. So
So
for
you could
me,
relate.
I could relate, and it wasn't just drama for me, you know. So what happened in the story for Patso, she had the baby and she went back to school, and what would happen is when young people would be listening to that on the radio, they would be inspired, and every time we'd go like on a road show to perform in different communities, girls would come up to me, oh my gosh, Mpatso, I love your character. Because of you, I'm also a teen mom, but I've gone back to school. And you know, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually working. So every time they would listen to, let's say, we would really emphasize on friendship, on boys and girls being able to chill without any sexual activity going on, you know, because we are human spirits, you know, and what I know can impact someone else who's a male, you know. So bringing that on radio and then seeing how that has helped Mpatso, let's say my relationship with JP in the drama, how it's helped Mpatso get a job, for example, or do well in school, the young people would also understand that, okay, this is possible. And in the drama, we also had a grandmother who was my grandmother, my character's grandmother. And so she represented the older generation, and what we had a different segment in the radio drama where she would answer questions. So any young person that would have a question but would be afraid to ask their parents would just send a message straight to the Zathu line and would ask Gogo or something that, okay, this is what I'm experiencing, what should I do? And Agogo would, you know, would direct her and give her guidance, give her advice on what to do. So it really helps, because I got a lot of testimonies just meeting people that say, man, this is how we think now, this is what, because behavior change does take a while. It's not like someone can just change lelo ndi lelo. No, it takes a while for people to change. And so it starts in the mind. So what are they continuously listening to? What are they continuously taking in? So the idea was, let's make music that is giving out an important message, but that is catchy at the same time, so that as they're singing it, Zimadele, Zimadele, you know, you're thinking about if life was like this, if friendship was like this, you know, and then it's sinking in, and slowly it'll change. Because the idea is, let's target the adolescents, let's target the young people, you know, because they are still growing, and if we are able to change their mindsets, then we are able to change a whole generation, you know.
It's very, very interesting, that, because, you know, like, you went back to the fundamentals, you know, because the way to deliver a message is through music. You know, how do people get caught, you know, how do people get, you know, embrace religion? The music draws you in, and that's it. You feel the Holy Spirit prayer. You know what I mean? So exactly that. You know, it's very impressive how you went about it. You know, because that was a very, very interesting breakdown.
And I must say one more thing. Sorry for cutting you there. As I was listening to you, look, from just the point of looking at the band, you know, and the name and everything, after you've explained it to me, it looks like there's a lot of thought in this, and it's so smart, and it's something that we look at it every day. Even in Malawi, when I was there, all these things were there, but I couldn't use them. And the way somebody ended up bringing all this together and bring you guys together for this, it's amazing. This was an amazing thing, to be honest.
Very impressive. So you know, sticking to Zathu Band, actually, in the interview with ZBS, you mentioned that you had to learn about radio presence. You know what I mean? So that was the part that you struggled with, because, you know, when I was listening to this interview, you said, look, I was used to performing on stage, I was used to doing all these other things, but when it came to acting on the radio, that is where you had to learn. Take us through that process. What did you have to do to adapt to that situation, basically?
Man, I dreaded going to the studio to record. Every morning, we would record every weekend at Fridays and Saturdays. I was so scared because I wasn't good at it, you know. But the producers really believed in me. They'd be like, wow, you've done well, you know. And one, it was in our local language, okay, and radio drama, you don't memorize and speak. You have to speak as you read. Right, so you have to make sure that you've read the script before time, so that you know what you're gonna say, so that you read it, but you don't sound like you're reading. You should sound like you're speaking. So it was an entire new process for me. It was something that I had never done before, but I enjoyed it because I became so much better towards the end, and I really, really loved it. And that's when I actually discovered that we can learn to do different things. You know, we can learn if we put our mind to it. You know, I think I struggle because I feel like, no, I'm much older. If I'd learned it when I was younger, because singing I learned when I was young, so it's not like I battle with it now, you know. But this was a very new experience, but we had a coach that came in and would teach us, you know, would teach us that the act of drama. I think most times when you're acting on radio or on camera, you're so self-conscious, so you're thinking of yourself so much, you're thinking of how to react, but acting is just feeding off of the other person. So you don't think of yourself, you think of the other person. So everything you say, you think of it with an intention. So if what I'm saying to you, what do I want you to feel? If I want you to feel sorrow, then I say it in so basically what I learned is that words are, they just carry the emotion. So the emotion is what's really important, and you need to feel it. So if you're feeling it, then people that are watching will feel it. If you're not feeling it, no one's gonna feel it. So there was just like little secrets like that were so fundamental to drama. Wow, okay, so this is so we had to do training for camera as well. So when we had our music videos, there was also some drama in that. So as you're saying, that drama on camera is way different from drama on radio, because drama on radio, it's I have to use my voice. You can't see my face. You can't see my body language. So I have to exaggerate my voice, exaggerate my emotion in my voice. Whereas on camera now, I have to make sure you can't see that I am conscious of myself. So I have to make it about you, and I have to keep making it about you. And also I learned that acting is your natural response. So what is my natural response to what you've just said? So I'm not going to tell myself to laugh, no, but I need to take in what you're saying, and if I find that funny, I'm gonna naturally laugh. So that is acting. So learning that was just so amazing. I really, really had a great time, honestly. And towards the end, I was like, I want to do this forever, man.
That's amazing, isn't it? That's amazing. For me, obviously, look, we seem to be just stuck on the Zathu thing, but I promise you, this is the last one. But this is the last one. I'm just interested to hear it from you. Look, with the Zathu Band, you traveled a lot, and you also you traveled to and also performed in countries like, let's say in places like London, Canada, Abu Dhabi. I'm pretty sure you did there, and the Netherlands, the International AIDS Conference, and for me, I just want to understand, with all this traveling, what was the most significant story behind these journeys?
Yeah, I think what was significant for the traveling was that Africans getting to tell their stories by themselves. You know what I mean? For example, going to Abu Dhabi, it was a midterm review of the Gavi Alliance, which does vaccines, right? And I shared my story on my experience actually vaccinating my son, getting my son vaccinated, and the experience here and the lack of information. So, for example, when I went to with my child to the hospital, I didn't know what that vaccination was for, what it would help. Because I was told, okay, come in on the 19th and you'll get this, finish. You know, so, which is a big problem, because mothers need to understand why they're doing what they're doing, and they need to understand the implications if they don't do that. You know what I mean? So so getting a chance, so it wasn't just performing. Yeah, we had a chance to sing and we had the chance to showcase, you know, our talents, but we also had a chance to speak out and to tell them what we're going through, to tell them our personal experiences, and it would help them to now provide better services. You know what I mean? It would help them to talk to nurses and to give the nurses a background of what they need to do and how they need to reach out to young mothers, so that, and to every mother, so that they understand why they're doing what they're doing. So for me, it was a chance to tell my own story. It was a chance to use my own voice, because we're preaching about empowering the girl child. So it was a chance to exercise that and to show them that I have a voice, and and there's certain things that I'd like to say, and to command people to listen to what I have to say. So for me, that was very, very significant, you know.
Oh, amazing. Wow. Amazing.
Wow. I mean, you know, a lot of people do not know that you are still a young lady, you know, like you've achieved all these things, but people don't know that you are still a young lady, you know. This is impressive, absolutely impressive. So, I mean, just for people that are watching this right now, you know what I mean? Just know that she's below 30. She's below, you know, even not even man. not just below, way below, you know, way below. You know,
I know with such a list, I'm pretty sure people think that, oh, maybe she's one of those with the baby faces. No. She's below.
Listen, all these achievements in such a short period of time.
You only turned 19 last month.
Pardon? I didn't hear that.
I said you only turned 19 last month.
Oh, no.
This guy. Sorry, Ovi, go ahead.
And look, by the way, before we go on, look, for all you guys that are watching, and again, look, this is the show. This is a special guest. We have Theresa Phondo. This is one lovely lady, one from our own country, Malawi, who was in a big, massive group called Zathu Band. And in 2006, they won 3 Best Group Awards at the UMP Awards and 3 Nyasa Music Awards with Rising Star. So we're talking to the big deal lady right here, guys. That's why you deserve, look, like, share, subscribe, you know, to get more people. If we get on more people in interviewing them. And of course, we're going to have Theresa's socials down on the bio, so you can check her out, see what she's doing right now. You know what I mean? And the music, of course, that's the big thing. You should listen to the music, and you should see what she's doing next. As we've been talking for the last 30 minutes, we're talking about you, Theresa, in Zathu Band, and you've pretty much dissected that. I like that word. What you were doing, what your part was, what your role was, how you had your feeling in that group, and how it went on. To me, I hear it as it was perfect and it was lovely. It's such an experience for yourself. I would say that from what you've said to us, that you loved it. But then when they come about and then they think about it, say, all right. And then this lovely lady, as now I know, she came solo out of the group. The biggest question come to me is like, okay, this is lovely. I didn't know the group. You've explained it. Why did Theresa Phondo leave Zathu Band?
Yeah. I mean, well, the contract did come to an end with Zathu. So, but before it came to an end, they did tell us that we're free to do our own music as well. So that was there on the table. And my other colleagues had already started their careers. So for me, it was like, you know what? I really want to, like I'd always wanted to sing solo. So for me, Zathu Band was more of a training ground and, you know, to just polish up my skills. And by the time after the 4 years, I felt I'm ready. Let's do this, man. You know, even though Zathu has come to an end and it was such a great initiative, it doesn't mean that I have to stop the impact that I am doing on the ground, you know. So it was just my dream to carry it on. And yeah, I dropped a single with the music video in April this year, and it was just so amazing. The reception was so amazing, you know, and yeah, that's what happened.
That's a video that went over 11K, isn't it? And it's still rising.
It did. I think it did.
11K, and it's still rising. I know my numbers.
Listen, you have a strong team, man. You have a strong team.
I know your numbers, boo boo.
Oh wow.
Numbers now.
Yeah,
I know right now. Now he's
Like,
a numbers guy.
No, look, like if for a single person, when you hit 11, listen, if for a single person, I know this because I do sketch comedy myself. But I mean, if you hit, once you hit 1K, that's something like like if you're gonna have 1,000 people look at your stuff or listen at your stuff, you're doing good.
You're doing
1,000.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you're right about that. You're right.
1,000. Look, guys, I take pride in that. I respect that because I do sketch comedy. When I get to that, Sing, you don't think 11,000? That's a number. 11,000 people. You can't fit them in the stadium.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving along, you did mention the single that you released in April 2021. That single was You? The single you released?
You.
Okay. So this single right here, right? I'm not gonna play it obviously for copyright reasons. But you know, you released this song.
What allows it? We can't play it even if it's
no. For you know, Theresa's gonna come after us. She'll be like, "Hey man, why you playing my stuff on your chat?"
But I'm right here.
See, hey, you never know. You know, the music business. Whew, tough. Okay. So this song, right? You. The first thing I noticed about this song was your voice. You know, because I played this song, and I'm like, okay. And then you start singing, I'm like, yo, hey, damn. Wow. You know, the producer must have loved producing this song. And then obviously the electric guitar in there, the acoustic that complements your voice. I was like, whew, this is brilliant. You know, I wanted to know what was the inspiration behind this song. You know?
Yeah. So the inspiration behind You is just to bring hope. I feel like this generation, many times we're finding ourselves in dark places, in dark spaces where there's a lot of depression going around. There's a lot of mental health issues that are going around, you know, and that's what the first verse is talking about, because it's talking about where I am, the sun is not shining, you know, people have left me, they've walked out of the door. But then in the second verse is talking about somebody telling me about Jesus, you know, and then me finding a hope that lights up my world, a hope that I can hold on to. So when I personally found that hope in my life, because I never really treasured hope, you know, in that manner. But when I dug deeper, reading the Bible and just noticing that God is called the God of hope, and I read upon that, and I was like, oh my gosh, God actually wants us to live with hope, no matter how dark the situation is or the challenges that we face. But he really wants us to be hopeful, because there's always a brighter day, you know, even though there's winter, summer always comes, and we really need to hold on to the fact that this situation won't stay the same, because nothing stays forever, only the word of God remains. So when I found that hope, I was like, I need to find a way to tell people that you need to have hope. You need to hold on to the hope no matter what you're going through, because situations are bound to change. So that was the idea of the song. And I just really wanted to minister to people. I really wanted to change people's situations and just give a glimpse of hope, you know. I just want to give out positive vibes. So that was the idea.
No, that is brilliant. Another thing I noticed in this video, right there, this young man here. Is this your son? This is the firstborn?
That's my firstborn son, Israel. Yes.
Oh,
Israel.
Wow.
Oh, Israel.
So is he?
Then from the Bible too.
Yeah.
Was he actually playing the piano? Was he?
He was actually playing the piano. So he plays the piano, and he's really good at it. He's even better than me. And my husband is like, you know, let's get Izzy to be in the video. And I was like, that is a very good idea. And we told him, and he's like, yes, let's do it. And the day before I was recording the song, I was like, okay, so this is how the song goes, okay? And then he practiced it in like 5 minutes. He's like, I got it. And then we went and we shot the video. So yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, we'll give it a quick 30 seconds because YouTube can't sue us for that, all right? Literally, he's in the background of your video playing the piano, really.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, listen, when I saw that, I said, okay, this is impressive. It's impressive, man.
Yeah.
Starting young. Is he going to start a music career as well? Is it?
Yeah, do you think you're going to drop him into the music career?
my children love music because I'm constantly singing and they're always around music. And their father, my husband, is an artist manager, so it's just, you know, surrounded by music. My 1-year-old sings already. Israel loves singing. He
Wow.
raps here and there. So I mean, I asked him, what do you want to be when you grow up? He said, oh, I want to be a DJ. I'm like, all right.
Hey, you know, come on. Okay. So moving along, right? So you've debuted your music, right? So for people that do not know who you are, right? Why do you want them to listen to you? What makes you different? What makes you special?
Yeah, as I said, I really want to minister to people. You know, there's a lot of negativity in the world going on, especially on social media, and I just want to give out positive vibes. Literally, I want to minister to the brokenhearted. I want to minister to those that are feeling down. I want to be able to, I want the people that are joyful to be able to also relate. And I just want to talk about God in a way that is beautiful and with beautiful melodies, you know. So that's my heart desire. That's my heart desire. I just want to sing because I love singing. So for me, it's a passion, it's a hobby, and it's also a ministry. And yeah, I guess that's what I can say.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm into that. I'm into that.
Wow.
Amen.
Theresa Phondo. She's some amazing lady. You know, like when you listen to you say you think your stuff, you have passion for that. You love the music.
We hear the passion. We feel the passion.
Yeah, we can feel the passion.
She's taking us to church. You know what I'm saying?
See, you take us to church. She's taking us.
Come on.
You know something, like the way I see, yeah, ever since you went solo, I assume I'm not saying that this it's not a question. I'm just saying it doesn't mean like you're unhappy, but the contract went to the end, and I can see you're loving your solo music now. Yeah, you've seen, because the reception behind it has been great. We can't beat about the bush about it. It's been so great. People love your stuff. I listened to that song. I was like, all right, that's some stuff. You know what I mean? That's some stuff. And of course, every single person that would admire that, like me, would obviously be looking forward to be saying that, okay, is this for the long run, or is she going to do it for a little while and then drop off? As you say, as you're a mother, you're doing school, you're doing working there, you know what I mean? You're busy. Yeah, you know what I mean? The last thing I'll be thinking in my brain, I'll be like, okay, how long am I going to enjoy this? Are you going to keep this on? Or, you know what I mean? I hope you do. The only thing that I'll come against to ask is, like, what would be your goal, your vision as a solo artist right now, right? First question, what would be your goal and your vision? And then, what should we expect us as your fans? Like, are we gonna expect an album, or or what's, you know what I mean? What's your vision? What's your goal? What's your vision? What's your goal?
Well, I actually have another song out that came in July called Zambezi. This one was dedicated to my husband, so you guys should check that out.
Okay.
But the idea is, as I said, it's singing is something that I love doing, and what do you expect? I don't want to make promises, but at the same time, as I said, is something that, I mean, the way I breathe is the way I'm gonna sing. You know what I mean? It's something that I do. So, but because of my schedule, because of how busy everything is now, I did say that it's changed a lot of plans that I had. Yeah. So I did plan on dropping an EP. I planned on, I planned all these things. I planned my music career, and then my job came through. So am I going to still release the music as I planned? I don't think so, but it doesn't mean that I won't at all. So I just have to find a way to balance everything and to make sure that I'm still nurturing the natural gift that I have, but at the same time, I'm still advancing in my career, my professional career. So, yeah.
Okay. No,
she's young. By the way, I don't know why. By the way, we said this already, that this young lady here has achieved a lot, and to most of us it might sound like, oh, she's already hitting a, like, for me, by listening to you, as I even told you that when you were in school, like you were so young that time. For me, I was like, oh, there's the girl. And I remember when I was telling my sister about this interview, she was like, oh, her. I was like, yeah. But it also shows that maturity is not always age, and also experiences are not just always age. Like what you've experienced and what you've taught us and what you've taught us today. So even though you don't make us a promise about the music, with how young you are, eventually one day you will.
You know what I mean?
Something, you know?
And with what you've done, it's left a legacy, you know, already. You know, what you've done is a legacy. So no, it's absolutely impressive. So next question, right? On Theresa Talks, which is your YouTube channel, right? Episode 2. In fact, I'm going to ask you to tell us about Theresa Talks first before I ask you the next question. What is Theresa Talks about? Because I saw the trailer. Yeah, I'm going to be talking about life experiences and whatnot. You know, in your own words, what is it? What is it about? What's Theresa Talks about?
So Theresa Talks was basically me creating my own table and my own seat, because as a public speaker, if I'm not invited to shows, if I'm not invited to speak somewhere, how am I going to use that? So I said, I'm going to create my own platform, and I'm just going to talk, and I'm just going to share the things that I've learned, and just to help someone, because I would also get questions in my DMs. Oh, how did you get through this? And this is what I'm going through. And I figured, you know what, I could answer that question to and I could address it to a lot of people, and it can help a lot more people than just one person. So it was just me, you know, using that opportunity to say, let me create my own platform. And and any time that I want to share something, you know, I just share it on my platform. My music, I'll share it on my platform, and everything about my life, every content that I want to give out there, I'm going to share it on my platform. And that was just the idea behind it.
Lovely. Lovely. So speaking of the content that you put on there, one that caught my eye was episode 2, where you answered a question on finding Mr. Right as a single mom, right? So you answered that question based on your personal experience, obviously, because I watched the interview. So in your case, what were the challenges you faced in, you know, finding Mr. Right? You know what I mean? As a single parent, you know, what were your challenges?
I think my challenges were okay, first and foremost, when I gave my life to Christ, I stayed single for 4 years after that. So I gave my life to Christ at 19. So I stayed single until I was 22, right? And I wasn't looking for a partner. I wasn't looking for anyone, because I told God that this is your moment to fix me, to work on me. I want to be a better person. And when I get married, I want to be a great wife. So I was working on myself. And when I felt like, yo, man, time up, this is too long now, that's when I went to my past. I started praying. I said, God, I want my husband, you know, bring my husband. And I really wouldn't meet my husband, like the right, you know, husband material. I'd meet people that were not serious with life. They were not in the same space as I was, you know, and they just wanted to have fun. They just wanted to fool around. And I would, as soon as I noticed that this person is not serious, I'd cut it off, because I wasn't about to waste my time. I'd already wasted time as a teenager. And right now, I just wanted the right person, the person who wanted a marriage like me and who was suitable for me. So what I'd do was, every time I meet someone and they'd be like, yo, I like you, I'd be like, yo, but I want marriage. And I knew, I knew
straight up.
I wouldn't even hide. I wouldn't even lie. And because I knew that the wrong person would be like, yo, deuces, you know, thank you.
Or the face. I bet the face.
They'll be like, I don't want those problems.
You know? So a lot of them would like book out, and I'll be like, thank you, don't waste my time. And then I went to my pastor. I said, look, pastor, I've been praying and God ain't coming through. So maybe you pray, because maybe your network is on point. 5G here, it's not going down. And he laughed at me, and he's like, how old are you? I'm like, I'm 22. He's just like, okay. Then he's like, anyway, just when the right guy comes, bring him. I want to see him, but keep your eyes open for the diamond in the dust, because the guy you'll be looking for, you want him settled, you want him like you, having a job, having a car, and all this. But you might just find someone who doesn't have those things, but his spirit is so ready, and his spirit is so has a vision. So when you find that guy, bring him to me. And I'm like, okay. 2 months later, my husband comes in from SA, and he was telling everyone, that's my wife, that's my wife, that's my wife. And I hadn't met him. And I'm like, whoa, you know? And he told my best friend, oh, I want to marry her. And when I met him, he's like, yo, man, I just want marriage. I want to marry you. And I was like, oh, wow.
Straight to the point.
Straight to
Hit
the
the
point.
nail on the head.
And I was like, okay, but I think I need to get to know you, you know. And then he's like, yeah, that's fine. So we had long chats about, you know, politics, about religion, about family, just to see where we were at. And I was so impressed. That was the first time I'm seeing a guy that's actually talking sense. And I'm like, oh my God, you know. And then I took him to my pastor, and my pastor's like, he the one. He's the one. But you find out yourself. Go and learn him, because there's some things that I'm not going to know about him, and you're going to find out because you're going to be in the relationship, and then you make that decision. And then here I am, man.
You got beginnings.
So wait, this pastor, has he got a helpline? Yeah.
I always get that.
Can you sort us out? Can you sort us out?
I can hook you up. I can hook you up, because legit 2 months later. 2 months later.
Who brought us up?
I'm not even talking about just me. I'm talking about the viewers too. You never know. This guy that want to know. You get me? Nah, that is absolutely brilliant, man. I've got one more question for you. I wanted to ask you about you know, in the interview on ZBS, you spoke about 10 things, hashtag 10 things. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, are you gonna go there?
Yes. I went and dug it up, all right, and I found this video. So we're gonna watch this video, and then you can tell us the story behind it, all right? At least this one, we're not gonna get done for copyright on this one.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. She's got the cutest smile. Ooh, baby girl, I love it. You make my heart beat faster. And I'll play
God.
I'll play the song for you. And I really hope you like it.
How that miss this wedding?
Like it. So when the song comes on, go na na na. Oh my baby, go na na na. Do what you like, go na na na. Oh my baby, go na na na. Dance how you like, go na na. Oh my baby, go na na.
How is the bloody hell did I miss this wedding? I love weddings, man.
Theresa, you know I love you, right? When I told you that I've never met nobody like you, I know it sounded cliche, and I understand that. But that's why I had to prove it. That's why I had to put a ring on it.
All right.
Honestly.
I felt like I was watching some love movie, bro.
You know what I mean? So, you know,
Love
in this interview on ZBS, you said, look, this trended all the way to Jamaica and all these stuff. Like,
Everywhere.
What's the story behind it? Tell us, please.
Right. So just before my wedding, I think the week of my wedding, my husband tweeted the 10 things that I've done for him. Right. And it included stuff like getting him a car. What other things did he talk about? He talked about a bunch of things that I did for him during our relationship.
Girl, magic.
And it went wild, because people are like, no, you're babysitting him. No, this, no, that. You know, people have different opinions and everything. And it was so bad. People were coming to my inbox, don't marry him. Don't get married to him. You know, and it was like, wow, it was just out there. And it was in Kenya. It was in America. It was everywhere, literally. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, why is this such a big deal? And the same week, a lady posted of things that her boyfriend did for her, like taking her child to school, helping her when she was she didn't have a home, but it didn't get as much attention, you know. And to me it was like, well, that's double standard, because first of all, we want, you know, equal rights, but when we're doing the same things that men do as women to each other's, like to, you know, our partners, it's a problem. Like, yeah, so man, that was crazy. That was crazy. I was like 3 million interactions on that tweet. It was
my.
like, yeah, man.
That's
Yeah.
that's amazing. That absolutely that's crazy. You guys didn't even intend that, and here we
No,
are.
we didn't.
You know,
Here we are.
Oh man, I mean,
Kicking
on
in
that
is
note, guys, smash a like for Theresa if you haven't done so already. I don't know what you're doing. You know, this person is rare breed. You know, rare breed, cut from a different cloth. And I'm saying that's special, basically, yeah. Please come on now, we appreciate this. So I think Patrick has. Patrick doesn't have a question.
No. I like to have something. It's just based on what it's just based on what you were talking about. What you just mentioned there about the stuff you were doing for your your husband. It's true what you just said, because we have a session on Instagram at 8 o'clock every Saturday, and we said, would a woman, or would a woman propose to a man who she thinks that maybe he's not ready for marriage yet, or maybe she thinks he's ready but he's not money enough to do it himself. So would she take charge of the situation? We had some interesting people there who were also saying, no way, no, I wouldn't. Why should I kneel down for him, or why should I be the one proposing or taking charge? He's the man, he should take charge. If he doesn't take charge, it means he's not money enough. Do you know what I mean? So I get where you're coming from. So I just wanted to say something like that before we close up.
But would I propose? That's something different. I don't think I do. So that's a conversation.
Would you propose? No.
She said she wouldn't. She just said she wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
She said she wouldn't. I mean, look, there's certain things. There's certain things you've got to leave to certain genders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A man can't give birth. Let's be honest. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's not even possible.
Yeah, exactly. So
You know what I mean?
a woman shouldn't be taking the knee. You know, that's what I think. They shouldn't be taking the knee.
But that's a whole different conversation.
It is.
No,
it is. Trust me, it is.
We've had it in lots of our episodes when we're doing on Instagram. I think on MySpace as well. And we I'm more of the side. I would love to be proposed once in a while.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay.
One thing I want to ask you, Theresa, I just want to say, because you're here in front of camera, I from hearing your story, it's lovely, and it's something that can really inspire a lot of people. If you had one word to say to any woman or any girl that is out there and is probably living in that scenario where they're 16 or they're 17 and they're pregnant, you know what I mean, and they feel the least of their moment, because there's a lot of them in Africa, in Europe, wherever. You know what I mean? And I'm big feminist on things like that. What's one thing that you could say to someone out there that is a lady like yourself, who you dug yourself from that moment when you were pregnant when you're 16, you say, right? And to look at you now, you know what I mean? Nobody can even, unless you said it, no one could know. You know what I mean? What would you say to those girls out there?
But one word is not enough. Can I say like a sentence?
Yes, say a sentence.
Go ahead.
When I say that, I mean,
want.
I want you to say whatever you can say to
Whatever
inspire those type of girls in that kind of situation, because in Africa it's common.
We'll give you the mic, no problem. Go on.
Wow, how do I put this in words? I mean, first and foremost, I would want to say it's not the end of the world. Because in that moment, your world it's crashing. You see it, everything is crashing, but it's not the end of the world. And number two, life in 10 years will not be what it is today. So this is just a chapter in your life. and you have the power to write the next chapter, right? With the decisions you make, you write the next chapter. So you get up and you can write a happy ending. It's in your power. It's in your hands. That's what I'd say.
Respect.
Wow. That's absolutely absolutely beautiful. Well, we have come to the end of the interview. I know we wish we could keep you for even longer. I mean, it feels like you just got more gems to drop the further we go. You know, I think you're a marathon person, I can tell. So, guys, you have been watching 5Roundz, guys. All right, I have been one Tally. That's Patrick, OV2 Nice. We have the amazing Theresa Phondo. As a tradition, you know, we let the guests do the outro. So, Theresa, it's your time. Take it away.
Yo, everybody, this is 5Roundz podcast here. Woo, 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 woo. Theresa Phondo as well. Please don't forget to go and check out my Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitter. You can find me on Theresa Phondo, even on LinkedIn. We out.
Yeah, we out. Guys, it's 5Roundz.
Malawian boy.